Hey Brookville High School, it's Callie, and for those of you who don't know my story and anything about me, I'm going to tell you about me. First, I just want to say that you guys are amazing. Everything that you're doing is awesome. I was diagnosed with cancer at the beginning of the summer of 2015, but before that I was just any random regular teenage girl. I was a cheerleader. I still am a cheerleader, but I was really into cheerleading. I just loved hanging out with my friends. My summer plans were to go swimming, go boating, do all the random teenage stuff that, teenagers are supposed to do. So right before I got diagnosed, I was on a vacation with my family. We're in Orlando, Florida, so I was wearing my bikini, going swimming, and I had a lump in my stomach, and I knew it had been in my stomach for a while, but I didn't really think anything of it. It was just a lump. And I was a naive teenager, I still am, but I didn't really say anything, I didn't think anything of it, but my mom saw it when I was laying down on my bed, and she's like, what the heck? And I was like, I don't know, I've had it for a while now. She's like, well, we're gonna set an appointment for you when we get back home. So after the vacation, I went to the doctor, and without me knowing, she gave me a pregnancy test, and so she comes into the room all serious, and she's like, you're pregnant. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was like, are you kidding? Like, I literally thought it was a joke, and she's like, no, you're pregnant. I'm like, no, I'm not. Scientifically impossible for me to be pregnant. And she's like, well, the only other thing it could be is a tumor or cyst on your ovary, just like so calm. So I got an ultrasound, and it ended up being a tumor on my ovary. I ended up getting it removed, and long story short, it had spread, and I had to get chemo all summer long. It's not the ideal summer that a teenager would like to have. I had those plans to go swimming, go boating, and I couldn't go swimming at all because during chemo I had to get something called a PICC line, which is where all of your chemo goes through your body through, and it was right in my arm. I still have a scar. The feelings that I had when I was going through chemo all summer long, I felt pretty lonely. Most of the time I would be up in my room watching TV. Every once in a while I would have friends that would come and visit me, but they had their plans during the summer, and I couldn't really go do anything, so I'd be alone most of the time. I've said it a million times though, I always try to stay as positive as possible. Even though I was physically weak, I had barely any muscle left, any fat on my body. I really tried to stay mentally strong and positive, because I think that if I didn't keep that positivity, I wouldn't have gotten through it as easily as I did. I'm in remission now, as of August 28, 2015, and so after I was in remission, I had a friend that I met in the hospital, and his mom she asked me to sing at his benefit. So I went there and I sang Fight Song, because that was kind of my anthem during the summer. So I went there and I sang, and my dad recorded it, and then he uploaded it to YouTube, and one of Ellen's producers called my dad while I was at school and was like, they saw the video and there was a possibility that they would want me on their show, which I had no clue about at the time. So I get a text from my mom saying, your dad's on the phone with Ellen, and I literally thought he was on the phone with Ellen. He wasn't, but still. So I kept in touch with this producer for months, and finally she called me and she's like, would you like tickets to come to the show? I was like, absolutely. I mean, what else would you say? No. No, thank you. No, I said yes. So they flew us out there, and I get a call the night before the show, and she's like, well, I hope you're prepared because you're going to be singing on the show. So I was freaking out at that point, thanks for this bomb that you just dropped on me, but whatever. So I wake up the next morning. I can barely sleep that night, but I woke up with a horrible cold, and I texted the producer. I'm like, I am sick as a dog right now. It's hard for me to talk. And she's like, well, take a long shower, get cough drops, and I did everything I could. And by the time we arrived to the studio, I was still sick, but I had my own green room, which was awesome. So when we got there, they put us up in the room, And when I got up there were teas and hot water. It was amazing. I felt like a celebrity. So I go out there for the interview, and then Rachel Platten shows up, and, you know, I sing with Rachel Platten. Like, how many people does that happen to? Not many. But that was absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing. And it just really shows that, you know, all I did to have that happen to me was I sang for a kid that had cancer. You know, I wanted to reach awareness. I wanted to bring him happiness. And not in a million years did I think that Ellen would have contacted me to that. That wasn't even, like, in my mind at all. So that just shows that, like, doing a nice thing for someone can just change your life tremendously. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Relay for Life and kind of like the backstory of it if you don't know it already. So Dr. Gordy Platt, actually, he wanted to raise money, and he had a 24-hour walk against cancer. So the first year, he earned $27,000, and he finally was like, I want a bunch of people to do this. You know, how amazing would it be if you could raise so much money? And since that started, he has raised $5 billion from that. How amazing is that? $5 billion, like, a million is a lot to me, but $5 billion, it's absolutely amazing. All right, so what I kind of want to tell you guys is each one can reach one. So just one of you can reach one person, and then that one person can reach another person, and it's just this whole chain reaction. So my thing is cancer advocacy, and definitely childhood cancer advocacy, because there's so much that goes into it. Starting that whole section over. Okay, so what I want to tell you guys is each one reach one. So what you can do is, it's when one person does something, and then someone else sees that, and then that person reaches someone else, and it's like a whole chain reaction. So my thing is childhood cancer advocacy, and I just like to raise awareness for childhood cancer. And I think me doing that, I've reached so many people and gotten them to think about it, and like the symptoms and everything. So yours doesn't have to be for cancer. You can either be for like the homeless or vets or teen pregnancy. Anything that you think that you need to help with, do it. I mean, it's an amazing thing. Even if you think that just because you're one person and you haven't ever done much to change the world and you don't really think you could, you can, because you doing one thing causes another person to do something, which causes another person to do something. So it's a whole snowball effect. And once again, I just want to tell you guys, you are amazing. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing, and keep doing it.